Hey LJH, my name is Mrs. Ansley and I teach 7th grade science here, and I would love to tell you an announcement. Next summer I'm going to be taking a trip to Washington DC and you are all invited. I definitely want you to come because not only are we going to see the Capitol, where we're going to also go to the White House where the President lives, we're going to see the Declaration of Independence and tour all the Smithsonian museums. Now today you're going to be getting your invited envelope in just a couple of minutes because I want to tell you about this trip. Not only are we going to fly on an airplane and stay in great hotels where you get to pick your roommates, we're going to get to go on tour buses, and we're going to get to do plenty of souvenir shopping. So you're going to sit here really quickly for me and watch a 5-minute video, and then I'm going to come back on and tell you what I need you to write on the back. Thanks.
I love being in DC.
I think this might be the best trip I've ever taken. Seeing places that I've heard of and learned about in school, it's just amazing, and I really enjoyed it.
It's really fun because you get to hang out with your friends and you get to see things that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. If you think about how all of these historical figures have been to this place.
Gotta come to DC because it's awesome. This was my first time coming to DC, and I was kind of nervous because I wasn't sure what to expect. But once I got here, I was just so excited, and now I don't want to go home.
Why should you sign up for a Washington, D.C. trip with World Strides? Because this trip is definitely like nothing you've ever experienced before, with more action, more learning, and more crazy times. This is an awesome experience to have with your friends, packed with spontaneous fun and totally random laughs. From the moment you arrive in D.C., you'll be blown away by everything there is to do and see. Like Arlington National Cemetery, the White House, Mount Vernon, the Supreme Court, the Vietnam Wall, Iwo Jima, and the Smithsonian Museums.
It was really cool. There's a lot of actual dinosaur bones, and there's one with like this itty bitty head and this humongous body.
You may have read about it in books or seen it in movies, but here you'll get an up-close introduction to people, places, and things that are pretty famous.
The Washington Monument was one of my favorites because I got to go to the top of it. It was really high, and you got to look out the window and see a nice view of everything in Washington.
The best thing I did with my friends was going to the Capitol because we got to go underneath the city into tunnels into the Capitol, and we got to see the painting on top.
I used to take my being in America for granted, but when I go to all these memorials for the fallen soldiers, I just think of how much they went through for me to get here.
When we went to the Lincoln Memorial, we learned about Martin Luther King. We said I had a dream speech with everybody.
I still have a dream.
It was nice. I mean, I could never imagine doing what he did in front of all those people.
I felt like I was in the past, like staying and imagining all those people standing there, and you could just feel it.
Free at last, think all the right to be free at last.
Even if you've been to Washington before with your family, going with World Strides is a completely new experience that you share with your friends. You're never bored on a World Strides trip. History truly comes to life. It's nothing like classroom learning as you know it.
There's a lot of stuff we fit into one day. It keeps you moving a lot, and it's really interesting. It keeps you focused.
Sundown just gives you another incredible way to explore DC in the dark. But the thing is, it's not just sightseeing. It goes way deeper than that.
When we went to the Holocaust Museum, we were told that we might see some survivors, and I didn't believe that. And when I was going by this one railroad car, I saw this old man crying, and when I passed him by, he wiped his tear with his left hand, and on his left arm I saw there were numbers. And that was really cool because I just realized that he was a survivor and I actually got to see that.
You can read as many books as you want, but until you see it, then you don't really grasp the full feeling of it. So that was my favorite.
In Washington, you're surrounded by the defining events and inspiring heroes who formed our country.
My favorite thing would have to be the World War II Memorial. That was really interesting with the huge wall of stars. For every star you multiply that by 100, and that's how many people died or went missing.
Just everything is really historical and really interesting, and there's so much to learn and there's so much to see.
Memorials, memories, and more. You'll never run short of entertainment in Washington, D.C. You'll get to do some souvenir shopping, hang out late night with your roommates, or splash your classmates out of the water in the hotel pool.
I'm never going to forget the people that I was with. As long as I have something to do about it, I'll never forget them.
So make sure you sign up for this trip. You'll return home with tons of new friends, crazy stories, and unforgettable memories. Experience our nation's capital with World Stride. You will never forget it.
Now that you've seen the video, I need you to turn it over and write on it. So they need to contact me. My name is Mrs. Ansley, Ansley. The parent meeting is on March 18th, which is the Tuesday after spring break, and that's going to be in our library at 6:30 p.m. Because after all, your parents are not going to let you go on an airplane if they've never met me. So I definitely need your parents and you to come, and let's talk about this wonderful, awesome opportunity to leave the great state of Texas and go visit Washington, D.C. and see everything that it has to offer. Can't wait to see you there.
I'm Mr. Bailey. I wanted to tell you about an exciting trip to Washington, D.C. to see our nation's capital. We'll be going next summer. You will receive this envelope. Don't forget to take it home to your parents. It tells you all the details. Can't wait to see you there.